Politics, position, power, ये सारे शब्द आते हैं मन में when you think about one big political drama, right? That's exactly what we're going to unveil today. This has got so much, guys. This is going to be so awesome. Let's welcome the entire gang, all of the Mavericks put together, the incredible star cast, the incredible gang of the whole show. Aparna, I want to start with you because this is such an exciting time. It really isn't exciting because Hindustan को politics में बहुत ज़्यादा interest होता है और जो राजनीति वाले show होते हैं उसमें everyone's watching them very closely, right? How is this going for you? Full excitement level like 1 million?
Very exciting. Tandav is our first political drama. It's an intriguing story about the pursuit of power and the lengths one will go to get it, or in some cases, keep it. It has the right doses of all the ingredients: love, hate, deceit, betrayal, suspense, thrill.
पहले मेरे खुद के बहुत सारे सवाल हैं तो आई एम लाइक मैं जब इनको देख रहा था एवरीवन बिफोर द जूम कॉल स्टार्ट इतनी जब बातें हो रही थी आई वाज लाइक गाइस देयर आर सो मेनी इनसाइड जोक्स हियर सो आई वांट टू फर्स्ट गेट द फ्रंट रो अपॉर्चुनिटी टू फर्स्ट एक्चुअली स्टार्ट अप अ कन्वर्सेशन एंड आई वांट टू स्टार्ट ऑफ विद अली अब्बास जफर व्हाट्स अप अली right so this is a big one for you right digital debut not a dhamakedar debut at that all right so how did you suddenly say okay Tandav needs to happen
I actually wanted to do Tandav as a film, but and Himanshu and I, when we were working together, I kept bouncing off the idea that I had for Tandav, and when it became little broader than just the idea, I figured out it cannot be done as a 3-hour film or a 2.5-hour film. It needs to be a show. So after Sultan, I spoke to Himanshu and I said, Himanshu, let's go and meet someone at Amazon, someone. And I was very, very, when Amazon came in and they were kind of picking up directors and the kind of content they were doing, I thought they would have the similar kind of sensibility like we had. And we went and I said, why can't you just fix up a meeting? This is right after Sultan release. I think it's 2 weeks after that. So Himanshu and I went and met Aparna at Amazon studio, and I pitched this show to Aparna, and Aparna kind of, I think, liked it. But then the way she reacted to it was little cold or in the middle. So I came out and told Himanshu, bhai, mujhe lagta nahi logo ko ye show samajh aaya hai. Chalo, we'll go somewhere else. We'll develop it, curate it, maybe go and watch. And I think, and I just then walked out of the office and this conversation finished. Then I think she reached out to Himanshu after a week or so and said, we should kind of develop this and kind of make it into a show. And then we kept going back and forth. Sultan happened, Tiger happened, Bharat happened, and the show kept getting pushed. And finally, after Bharat, I realized we need to do this, and that's how we jumped into it. Yeah, so that's Aparna will have a better story to tell, because I think she knows better how it actually got made.
That's why Aparna is the head of Amazon Originals. She knows how to create the suspense. पहले बोल सकते थे बड़ा अच्छा show है, but she took her time to really get into it, which is awesome. I love that. I love the fact that everyone sort of, you had an idea and you said, hey, there's a culmination. I love that. Saif, so excited to see you. So excited to see you. There's that saying where they say that if you can't be the king, be the kingmaker. Obviously, when you think of political drama, the Chanakya-giri is a part of that, okay? I mean, I can't imagine how one would sort of stay away from that. Is that big wisdom from Chanakya, is that a large cornerstone of how you thought about this in your head?
I don't know. The only Chanakya I've read is the Amar Chitra Katha, which I can't remember. You'd have to ask Ali that and the writers. I think, this is primarily for me a show about people and pressure. It's just what happens to people when you give them goals they really want, when they're ambitious people. And it's a complete cross-section of kind of Indian society. So it didn't really have to be on politics. It could have been, something else. But we're a political nation and we like discussing it. So it's a really good idea for a show. So I don't know if it's, I don't think we use the word Chanakya. And I suppose the writers have influences from that kind of thing. Maybe even Machiavelli, maybe even Shakespeare and kind of Julius Caesar. I think Roman politics might come into it also. So it's kind of like, there's a certain expectation you have when you think of a political drama, which involves, and a heightened one. I mean, this is a fantasy also, it's a fiction. We have murders and we have all kinds of things. So it's dressed up and influences from all over the place.
And which is why it makes it so exciting. And for the fact that you got this cast and this big, big cast, it seems like such a fun gang. I love it. The one person I was personally very excited about talking to was obviously Dimple Kapadia ji. I was like, oh my God, Dimple ji has been having like the best time. What an incredible feat for you, ma'am, at the moment. First of all, aapka digital debut, which is incredible. You're anyways rocking into the fact that you've also had the Hollywood debut right now. So really interesting time for you, right? So now here's the thing. When you're doing a first for the first time, I'm assuming Dimple, you were like, oh my God, I need to make sure I pick the perfect script for the digital debut, right? Kya tha? What was it about Tandav that you heard and said, this is what I make a debut with on the digital space?
I think the story was very, very interesting, and the cast was fantastic. And to get an opportunity to work with Talia Bass, I think that was a major draw for me. And my character is also very well etched, and I thought it was very interesting. It's fun.
Do you see a big difference with like the way you've always been used to working and now suddenly with the web show? Did you see a massive difference as an actor, or was there?
I think it's a massive difference in the sense that it gives you more time, more screen time, and so your character can be developed a lot more, and there's a lot more that you can do with it. Yeah.
There is, right? Yeah, because suddenly the news space that we're all watching, and in the lockdown, the fact that all the actors could stay connected, the fact that we can see Saif and you and everyone while we're sitting at home is such an
And
incredible
it's
thing.
fantastic because there's so much more you can do here. There's so many. I mean, you can just have some fantastic stories out here, and it's great to be in this space.
And I love the fact that you have a series of firsts that are happening at the moment, which is so incredible. I love that. Like really,
Flavor
really,
of the season. Yeah.
yeah. More power to you, man. Flavor of like
Thank you.
the as veteran as he is really really cool. I want to ask Himanshu Kishan Mishra or Himanshu. Scale is so important. Okay, when you talk about scale, everything has to be bigger, magnanimous. Everything has to be like the larger, the better. How did you mount the show? Like, how do you get actors of that caliber, scales of that caliber, in all a place that's actually possible to produce?
Um, well, so I've been telling this, for quite some time now, that it all starts from the text and the whole idea, that Ali had in mind. When Ali told me this, and eventually it got to a point where he said that has to be a long format. Then we met Aparna at Amazon, and then we got Gaurav to write this in the writers' room for us. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. What matters is how it starts. And on text, it was looking good, and then we just kept going for what we thought should be the best suited for that character, or that particular sequence to be shot. And I must say that all proficient teams at Amazon, they were absolutely bang on in whenever we took anything. They're always very supportive in that matter. So mounting this scale, getting this stellar cast, it all just happened because it was right there on text. And I thought that, as Dimpleji also said, that because the roles were, bespoken for kind of like everyone, it all just fell in place, and everybody just came in and did their bit. That's that. Producer's job becomes very easy once that happens.
Oh, I love that. I know you're saying it becomes really easy, but that feels like, with all the hard work, it feels like you're oversimplifying it. But I can only imagine the excitement in terms of how it must have sort of played together, right? अच्छा एक जो चीज़ है जो writing है मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा viral already मतलब जो थोड़ा सा झलक भी दिखी थी was already going viral. गौरव सोलंकी, I wanna ask you जो dialogues हैं, everyone's already like, oh my God, these are so amazing. I love it. I'm sure, when you're writing these dialogues, are you already thinking, wait, ऐसे मेरे को viral dialogue लिखना है, hit dialogue लिखना है, like, are you already sort of preempting that success, or like how does that work?
थैंक्स फॉर दैट। ऐसा वायरल डायलॉग लिखने का तो कभी नहीं रहता स्क्रिप्ट में, बट वो ड्रामेटिक राइटिंग का एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है टू बी एबल टू से कम्युनिकेट व्हाट यू वांट टू। उसके लिए डायलॉग राइटिंग काफी हेल्प करती है। स्ट्रॉन्ग डायलॉग्स, कभी कभी वन लाइनर्स वो खुद ही आते हैं। यू डोंट ट्राई कि आपको यहाँ पे करना है, वो कॉन्वर्सेशन कैरेक्टर्स के हिसाब से खुद आते हैं। And I was with all these characters for quite a long time, for around 18-20 months at least. So unki lives say I was living their lives, and when you see this, you will realize how complicated and disturbing some of their lives are. So वहां से आया ये। बाकी तो इंडिया की पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री है, हमारे सोशल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हैं, और I was primarily interested in essentially in human beings, human behavior, what people can do to get power, and why they need so much power, and what happens to that young idealism when you face the real world with all its beauty and ugliness. So वो सब थे, बहुत सारी तरह के कैरेक्टर्स और उनकी बहुत सारी शेड्स एक्सप्लोर करने का मौका मिला. Hope people will like it.
I'm sure you'll love it. It's already the funny thing is, since we're talking about liking it, and I think the conversation was about how Aparna actually got impressed. Aparna Purohit, I want to ask you, Amazon Prime Video, matlab on a roll in any case, you guys been making all these shows that everyone seems to love, okay? Like absolutely like brilliant shows. Now, obviously from the suspense that you created, what was it about Tandav and that you sort of slept on it and you said, okay, now we need to make the show?
We've always endeavored to tell stories that are culturally rooted, shows that can speak to many Indias that coexist. Also, we try to ensure that we have a good repertoire of all the genres. We had a war drama like The Forgotten Army, a musical like Bandish Bandits, a comedy like Four More Shots Please, crime dramas and thrillers like Mirzapur, Patal Lok, The Family Man. I think the only missing piece was a political drama, and Tandav addressed that need gap. I distinctly remember when Ali narrated the story to us in 2017. He's a very visual narrator. We were riveted. Of course, we maintained a very calm demeanor, as he talked about. Uh, we felt as that this story was like a peek into the world that we read about in newspapers, see on television, but know very little about. So it was a very easy decision to make. And finally, the wonderful cast that came together for this show and breathed life into the characters and created all the magic. I'm so incredibly proud of this show and this journey that we've had.
Suspense create kiya tha when you said, okay, let me get back to you and tell you about how, if you do want the show, what was the story about the suspense?
We wanted to internalize the story. We wanted to mull over it and think about it and look at the larger universe that he was trying to create and how it would go into hopefully seasons after seasons.
Yes.
So yeah, just wanted to
This is
stay with the story for a little while.